This is my review for the STM oil return line for the Evo 8.9 stock location turbo, stock frame turbo. I will get right to it. It's junk. It doesn't work. It doesn't fit. You can see I had mine in a vise. I started taking my aggressions out on it. I got frustrated with it. Tried to use it for another project. But anyway, the fittings are at weird angles, so when you're trying to test fit on the car, they don't ever line up right, which is kind of a hassle. The bend coming off the turbo just isn't right, but that's not the problem. The real problem is here. The first thing I did was attach the fitting to the turbo. Once I got that test fitted, I tried to throw a thread on the line, and you can't because the nut on the line hits the compressor housing, every little pointy edge here. So what I ended up doing was pulling off the fitting, threading on the line, and I had to thread the line on to where the flat spot was on the side of the fitting because your turbo goes right there. Of course, when I tightened it up, the little pointy part was sticking straight up, so I had to tighten the crap out of it. Luckily, nothing broke, but I was able to get it. So everything's awesome. I go to bolt it up, except when you thread the bolts in by hand and you can't get a socket on there because now the pointy parts are in the way of your mounting holes. So you cannot get a socket in there to tighten these up onto the turbo, leaving you pretty much having to pull the cold side off your turbo, bolt the fitting on, thread on the line, make sure it lines up flat, and then putting the cold side of your turbo on. None of us want to do that, so that pretty much makes this line useless. So it's a piece of junk, doesn't fit. I do not recommend it. Hopefully nobody else wastes $100 as I did.